Antonin Scalia recently gave an interview to Jennifer Senior. She's at New York Magazine, and he had some very interesting things to say. So he talked about how, of course, his opinions are brash and stated very brashly, even more so than the content. You know, he's always vituperative and going after the other justices, saying they misunderstand all of the issues, they don't have the intellect, etc. When asked about it, he says, oh, no. That's not off-putting at all. I bet it hasn't cost me any votes. But in reality, Sandra Day O'Connor has written in the past, or has talked about in the past, and it has been written about their relationship, that she found it incredibly off-putting and was less likely to vote in his direction. Sandra Day O'Connor was only the deciding vote in almost all of the critical decisions for a long period in Supreme Court history. She would be in the 5-4 decisions, whether they were going conservative or liberal. So Justice Scalia, brilliant, well played. Of course, it has nothing to do with his intellect. It has everything to do with his ego. Now, we get to the actually far more interesting parts of Antonin Scalia's interview. First of all, of course, he has outlandish things to say. This is an appetizer, okay? Talking about what he reads, he says, that he reads the conservative Washington Times in Washington, of course, where he is, skims the Wall Street Journal, but he no longer reads the Washington Post because it, quote, became so shrilly liberal. Laugh along with me, not only on how he stated it, but the content of that. The Washington Post is firmly ensconced in the establishment. Yes, from time to time, they have a few intelligent folks who write interesting stories. They were part of the people who broke the NSA story. The Guardian took the lead on that, but the Washington Post did at some point participate. Barton Gellman wrote some great stories. So give the Post credit where it's due. And of course, many decades ago, they did a terrific job with Watergate. But these days, they're generally pro-war, pro whichever administration is out there. Their editorial side is hawkish, loves every tax cut you've ever seen, massively conservative. So the idea the Washington Post is shrilly liberal is hilarious. Okay, but like I said, we're just warming up. How about gay folks? Now, he often writes against gay rights in America. Well, he says, look, quote, I have friends that I know or very much suspect are homosexual. I'm not sure they're really your friends if you're suspecting them of being homosexual. Not quite sure you understand the word friend. So he says, and I love that that's his way of saying, some of my best friends I think are gay. At least I suspect them of being gay. But nonetheless, of course they wouldn't admit that to me because I hate gay people. But nonetheless, of course that will allow me to vote in an unbiased way on gay issues. I'm not sure you're proving your case there, Antonin. Now, this is all a big prelude to the main course. Antonin Scalia apparently believes in the devil. Yes, Satan. In fact, he literally told the interviewer, I believe in the devil. Okay, interesting. But look, a lot of Americans believe in the devil, as Scalia is about to talk about, but I hope that it's a symbolic thing that they're referring to and not an actual creature with the horns and the tail. I mean, that's ridiculous, right? Apparently not. Scalia says he's a real person. Hey, come on. That's standard Catholic doctrine. Every Catholic believes that. He's a real person? This guy's on the Supreme Court. Makes the most important decisions in America. Obviously one of the 9 justices that are relevant to making those decisions. He believes that there's a Beelzebub, Lucifer. He's got a pitched fork. He's a real person. That's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. We have a lunatic on the court. Now, look, I know a lot of Americans believe in the devil, and he talks about that. Here, let me tell you what he says. He says, you're looking at me as though I'm weird. My God, are you so out of touch with most of America, most of which believes in the devil? I mean, Jesus Christ believed in the devil. It's in the Gospels. Well, now that you've proven your case, my hat's off to you, Justice Scalia. Oh, I see. It's in the book that says he exists, and hence it must be true. Well, with that kind of brilliant deduction, no wonder you're on the Supreme Court. I believe that would be the definition of circular logic. Okay, all right, fascinating. Then he goes on to say, you travel in circles that are so removed from mainstream America that you're appalled that anybody would believe in the devil. Most of mankind has believed in the devil for all of history. Well, that's true, And the reason for that is because the character that we know as Satan, the devil, is in a lot of mythology, Shaitan. And he's in the underworld. He takes on many different forms. He looks different in some of the different mythology, but he exists in a lot of the mythology. It's like saying, you're telling me you don't believe in Zeus? He was in Greek mythology and Roman mythology. Now, he had a different name under Roman mythology, but you understand. He doesn't believe in Zeus. Crazy. How do you make rational decisions when you're a person who is proud of basing your decisions on sheer irrationality? But look, even people who believe in religion say that it is a matter of faith, not a matter of reason. So he's basically saying here, the Gospels are what help me decide. The United States Constitution is supposed to help you decide cases, not your insane beliefs in what the Gospels say about Lucifer. And he knows it's stupid. That's why at the end he says self-defensively there, many more intelligent people than you or me have believed in the devil. In other words, I know it's a dummy thing to say that I believe the devil's a real person, has a pitchfork and has horns, etc., and is going to torture me forever if I haven't followed the strictures of what some politician wrote thousands of years ago when he pretended to cobble together the teachings of a guy that was theoretically the Jesus Christ of Nazareth. No rational person can believe that. And I know a lot of people have faith, and I'm not arguing with your faith. But it's another thing when you say, well, look, it's in the Gospels. There's a seven-headed dragon. So it must be true. Well, Justice Scalia, how do you rule on the seven-headed dragon? Is he a good guy because he's part of Revelations and part of the coming of Jesus Christ, your Lord and Savior? Or do you rule against him? I'm looking forward to that opinion.